Good morning, Thistledewers. It's Judy from Thistledew Creations, and today I am packing up some happy mail from Toni Trujillo or Trujillo. There's a J in there. I'm thinking it's silent. And I have a decorated envelope. I have it stuffed pretty full. I got a random act of kindness happy mail from her today, and asked her if I could return something to her. What was she searching for? She said, just surprise me, but nothing Halloween. So this is what I come up with for her. I have two divider pages that I got, I believe, in a swap. And I had to cut one edge off to fit them in the envelope. But I thought I would include these. So we've got, it's a black page that says April on the tab, and then it's got a April calendar on the other side. But I put these in, these are kind of like cardstock, so she can use the cardstock, but it's also to kind of protect everything else and make the package seem flatter in the mail. I've got a red and a yellow page of 8x8 cardstock, folded in half to protect the edges of the tops and the bottoms of the sheets inside the envelope as well. And then this is the items that I have for her. So I've got a decorated envelope, some map and music. It's my favorite combination. And I decorated all the spots on it that needed to be covered. And my intention was to possibly decorate it further, but I think I'm just going to send it like it is. It's got, even has some old Scotch tape on it. And inside this envelope, I've got a scrap of upholstery fabric in a nice vintage looking fabric. And then a piece of lace out of a tablecloth that I've cut up. And it's like crocheted, I would say. Or maybe it's woven. It's more woven. And then a piece, maybe a half a yard or so of this beautiful silk. I bought this blouse when we went to Ottawa to visit my son, and I've been gradually using up these little pieces of silk. I ripped it all into strips. So that envelope is in there. And then one piece of this gold trim. It'll just fit in the envelope. And then this little pouch I made out of some pages from an address book. So there was some pretty pictures in it and lots of lined sections. So I just harvested the book and used what I could to make little pockets and stuff. And this is a tag that I made out of a printable. And the first time I tried sewing on the paper. I haven't done it since, but I do sew, so I should really get my sewing machine to where I can use it all the time. And then this little piece out of a floral book, owls, clover, and American ginseng. So that's going in there. And then this is a little waterfall notepad that I made. And it's got details out of that same address book and some coffee dyed paper in different sizes, and then an orange, burnt orange piece of cardstock as a backer. And then this little paper bag has a few goodies in it. We have a piece of this gold foil die cut. I think it's some sort of a wrapper because this looks like it goes together here, but it doesn't look like it would be for a cupcake, maybe some other sort of treat that isn't tapered, just a cylinder. And then this is a card that I made. This was made from that front page that you get when you buy a pack of 6x6 paper. So that is actually that piece where my thumb is, that side of the paper. So I basically collaged over this and left the rest of it exposed. So don't throw away those front sheets. Those are great. Already collaged for you. And then this other tag is one that I made right at the very beginning when I was first junk journaling. It's a piece of purple cardstock where I used the punch along the edges, and I decoupaged feather and then put tissue paper over top. And then the tissue paper had the little pieces of glitter in it. It's not glitter that I added. But then there is also, I had some clear Varathane with glitter in it. And then that's gone all over the top as well. It says purpose fuels passion. So I really think that's pretty. One of my very first things I made. And then this is a pouch I made out of some vintage music paper. And inside of it, I put a little vintage piece of note paper and two other die-cut notepad sheets, a lady's dress and a hand mirror. Two bright index cards. This orange one is really shiny. I don't know what's up with that. I got those in a swap as well. And then a playing card, a joker with happy faces on it. And then a couple of postcards. We've got one from the Flatirons, Boulder, Colorado, and Stanley Park in Vancouver. So some Canadian things. This woman is in Spokane, Washington. I didn't want to give her too much Canadianish stuff, but I wanted to have a little bit of representation. And then this little printable envelope that I printed and folded. And here I have some more playing cards. I've got one with purse, keys, glasses, coin purse. It's another joker. And then I've got Whistler, BC, which is a 2 of clubs. And a dog one that, you know, it changes. What do they call that? Oh, I know the word too. Ventricular? I think it's ventricular. And then this one is really neat. It's an oval card, 4 hearts. And that envelope isn't even glued shut. Oh, and then there's one 6 of spades from the Great Wolf Lodge. So just a little collection of cards. What I should do is send her one of my altered playing cards in there. Maybe I'll do that. And then this little pouch that I made from napkin and music paper, which is one of my favorite things to do with napkins, is to make pouches and envelopes. It's trimmed out with some silky fabric and some cotton lace. And I just thought this coral was really pretty. In here, it's such a tall envelope, but not quite as tall as the envelope I'm sending the stuff in. So I put some taller papers in here, and they've got to be folded to get in there. So a couple of butterfly sheets. This is very smooth. And I think it was some sort of stationery. So I got those 2 in there. I had it so you could see 2 different butterflies. And then some other papers that are folded in half vertically. So these would be intended for you to use in a tall, skinny journal, or to just, you can just use them for collage. We've got pink receipts, pink note paper that you would just print on usually or write on, and then some graph paper. And then I really like this computer paper too, with the feather and the inkwell. And a piece of map also that's folded in half. And let me just see what I give you here. Michigan area, Chicago. I don't know where Spokane would be. But anyway, and a bridal shower invitation. I'm going to be doing something with these. So Toni, if you pay attention to my channel and follow along, we're going to be decorating these with lace. So make the dress lacy. and floofy. So you might want to follow along with that. So that's that little packet of papers. I'm trying to keep it in a nice neat pile so I can stuff it back in. And then this was a signature. Some of those were out of this same signature that I had started. So we've got, looks like an angel or lovers or something. And then some brown parchment. And then some player piano roll. And then bird and eggs, which was a free printable, coloring page, graph paper, my human performance paper, which I'm almost out of. Some of the yellow receipts, the same ones. A piece out of a exercise book. Another printable ledger. Printable book page with flowers on top. I don't use those too much anymore, but they're great for collage. I printed everything when I first started. Piece of drawer liner from Dollarama. And then some actual book page that is still attached so that you could use it in the center of a book or in a book, or you can just use it for collage. And then a doily I always put a doily in the center of every one of my signatures. It's just sort of something I do. And then we've got a few ledger items. So I've got a piece out of a Treasures cash book. I love the coloring, the red and white, or red and blue printing. And then this was a different ledger that I have, like a binder, a little checkbook size binder. So it's got hours and earnings and deductions. So it was a payroll kind of ledger. And then this one was a pad of paper, white background. It said for better copies. And it's got the red and the blue lines. And then a blue one with green and red lines. So a little bit of a sampler of ledgers. And then the September says dream bigger, sparkle brighter, live bolder. And so that's going to be protecting the other side. So that all gets stacked up as level as I can. I don't want it to be too lumpy inside the book or inside the envelope. And then I'll put these around the bottom. That helps me to get it into the envelope as well. So I do that and put that in. And then I'll work this one around the top edge. I'm going to try to get it on the outside. And underneath that first thing. And then over top of this last thing. And it just helps to protect those edges. I'm not really concerned what kind of shape these pages make it to her in. She can use them or not. They're not favorite colors or anything. So, and then this is one of those older envelopes that has the tangs to close it, so I'm going to do that, but I'm also going to glue it because this is going a ways. So I'm going to put some glue around the curved edge there and towards the center, and the other side as well. So I decorated this up pretty well, and for the post office I put contains paper, and for her I put random act of kindness return, happy mail movement. So that's the Facebook group. And Thistledew Creations is my YouTube channel and business name. So I've got my return address here and it says from. And on the front, I've got her address and the decorations. So I've got some stenciled book page, some music paper, some map. My favorite labels for addresses has these roses and this ornate design, and I spelled her name wrong when I first started, and this was already glued down, so I just stuck a smaller one on top. So that's why you've got the 2 layers on there. And then I just added these butterflies. I've got to make sure that they're well glued down or else they'll get caught in the machinery. But the thing that I wanted to do for it is to tape all around this top edge as well as the glue. When it came to me, it was taped, so I thought I better do the same. And I have some wider washi tapes that I use for that usually. Here's a good one. This one has birds and mountains, and it's got silver accents. Really pretty. Just gotta find the end. I put all my washi tape onto cards, and that way I can store it quite compactly. You can see all the different colors that I have. So you might get 4 or 5 on a card. And I usually go around the card 6 or 8 times. And then if there's enough to do another card, then I do another card, because then I can give it in a swap. It's a nice flat thing to give. In fact, I should shove one of those in there, but it's too late now, isn't it? I've got it glued down. Oh, come on. Washi tape hardly ever sticks, except when you're trying to get it to come off the roll. There we go. We got it. I'm gonna get it all the way to the edge. It will tear pretty easily. There we go. So I find that if you get it all the way around and stuck to itself, it works best. If I've got enough to do that. I might even need some glue. Might have to blur out her name. I bought this at Dollarama, and I have not seen it there again. Very disappointed that it's not around anymore, because there was this one and a dragonfly one, and of course I love dragonflies. So if you go all the way around and get it back onto itself, I find it sticks pretty good. And that was glued down anyway, so we should be okay. So that'll be going off to Toni in Spokane, Washington. And hope you find it to be a good package, Toni. I know that you spent a fair bit on postage for mine, so I'm sure I'll have a similar fee. But I really enjoy getting Happy Mail. I think it's worth it. And the items don't really cost us anything. It's not like we're going out and buying things especially for that. We're just sharing supplies. And I find when you get new supplies different from what you already have, it really sparks creativity. So if you haven't yet, do consider participating in swaps and Happy Mail, because it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So thanks for tuning in today and checking this out. And I hope that you enjoy watching my videos. Comment down below if you have any questions or comments, and I'd be happy to chat with you. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And most of all, have a great day. Happy crafting.